somebody will come up with a new date for a rock shelter somewhere in Australia, which pushes the date back to about 100,000 years, but nobody really agrees on those dates beyond 40,000 years. Now, so we have 40,000 years of Aboriginal history, of people living as hunter-gatherers in Australia, and then the first white settlements arrived. First from people, the Dutch, trying to get their way into India and into the spices of Southeast Asia, would go around Africa and then head due west. They couldn't measure where they were, so they would just keep sailing until they hit the land. So Western Australia is found first, and that part of the map is formed first. Then, if we're going to look for the date, which we can't agree on, when Cook finally went up the coast on the east coast, it's around 1778 or 79, and at that period Britain had lost its colonial rights to America and needed somewhere to dump its prisoners. So the jails were full in England, so they started to ship them out, people who were convicted, to come out to Australia and serve in the penal colonies. Each of the states developed separately. The whole country was once known as New South Wales, which is strange because I come from Old South Wales. Then gradually different parts of the country separated, created their own states, and each operated independently until the start of the 20th century. When finally there's the Federation of Australia, this glorious history of dealing with the people that used to be in Australia. The Aboriginal Australians were only recognised as citizens of their own country in the 1967 referendum.
I welcome you all here in this city of culture and tehzeeb, Lucknow. And you must be knowing there is a Lucknow in Australia also, right? So we have some common elements, some common historical linkages maybe. So I work on water as a whole, groundwater, surface water, water that you see in the river, in the streams, in canals, in wetlands, and the water which flows underneath that you cannot see, that is groundwater. And Australia is facing some of the toughest droughts in the previous decade, starting from the millennia 2000. Then we had a major rain in 2010. So from 2000 to 2010, there was like historical records of droughts, dry spells in Australia. And we also have similar sort of situation in India. We are blessed with monsoon rainfall, which is like June, July, August, September of rainfall months. So we have monsoon months, and then we have post-monsoon and before monsoon, what we call pre-monsoon. So South Asia has a typical monsoonal climate, which is also a kind of blessing in disguise, because it fills all our water bodies, lakes, rivers, and there's a new lease of life. Then we have a long dry spell, summer months, and the ecosystem is struggling with its resilience and trying to come out with new forms, because the dry spell also gives some scope for ecosystem to flourish, and then you welcome the rain. Now, the holistic philosophy of water management is that water is used, reused, and returned back to the nature. If you do not return it back to the nature in the same state in which you had taken earlier, withdrawn earlier, then you are putting some deadweight loss in the entire sustainability system. Your sustainability is jeopardized because the water that you have sent to your estuaries, sea and water bodies, rivers, it is compromised. And the aquatic species, the fishes, the turtles, they struggle hard to maintain its pristine, healthy ecosystem. So let me come to this topic. Now I start with this map. I try to superimpose map of Australia over India, right? To see the contrasting characters of conflicts of land and density of people living in some of the densest areas of the world. Now do you know that Australia is almost twice bigger than India in terms of land mass? But if you see the population,
My session is actually on regenerative agriculture, which is, I believe, the movement that's going to change, make Australia agriculture sustainable. I'm not going to be able to cover it all. If there's any questions or anything I'm saying you want to take issue with or chip in or whatever you want to do, please don't let me rabbit on forever without saying something. Put your hand up and I'll be welcome to answer the questions while we're doing it, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a background to the sustainable agriculture as now practiced at our university. We've got the course, the Bachelor of Sustainable Agriculture, and we're just starting a master's course next year, and all based on making agriculture sustainable. It's an exciting space to be in. I don't think anybody here is from Hawkesbury, so you won't be familiar with the campus at all. If you do want to move into the agricultural space, there's plenty of room for scientists, social scientists. There's a whole range of topics that you can take up for academic study. It underpins our economy, along with the mining industry, and it's got some difficulties thanks to climate change. And these solutions, you can be part of that solution. So it's not just addressed at the Indian students who maybe never heard of any of this, but also our students who come over. What I'm going to do is talk about some of our problems of water management, since that was the theme of yesterday, and I'll look at how we might go about some solutions for those. My talk's going to be particularly on technology, but there's a whole range of things. I'm going to set the bar onto the high end, perhaps. What we're really interested in, though, we have high-end solutions. We want to make answers that are relevant to farmers, that people can do at a lower technology. So we'll set although we'll talk about high-end technology throughout this talk, what we're always aiming at is coming at answers to the farmers, what the farmers really need, rather than what the technology is capable of providing. Okay, now our aim is from cell to system. We cover the cell biology of plants and animals, and we then bring that up to the system level. And that's our aim throughout the research that I'm conducting at the moment. We're looking at a lot of cell biology, which is rapid learning curve for me. And then we want to look at that and how we can move away from the cell to the whole system and take the signal that we get from the cell up to the system level. There are three aspects to it. There's the protected cropping is a particular emphasis for us, and something we wasn't spoken about yesterday, but a thing that we think will help to manage water in particular against climate change. We'll have a look at that later. We've got our education programs, and we also have sustainable production. Mostly our enterprise is a cattle enterprise. It's greatly improved in the last few years, and now we have this stud cattle farm on there.
Yesterday in the inaugural function, we were not having the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mr. S. Shukla, sir. So today he has spared, I think, 5 minutes for us, and he's here. So we are having this foreign exchange program, that is an international certificate course on water and health for sustainability under United Nations University program, that is the Regional Center for Expertise on Sustainable Development. And we have organized this program in collaboration with Center for Environment Education. The zonal director is here, Ms. Kriti Kamadia, and we are having this program in collaboration with Western Sydney University, That is, the 4 faculty members are here. Dr. Daniel, Dr. Richard, Michelle and Helen. And Michelle and Helen, last year also they visited our country and there were 40 students. But this time we are having 20 students from Australia and 4 faculties. And we have selected 15 Indian students also of our university and affiliated colleges for this program. So this is the program which is going on, and I think it will end up on 28th, sir. There is a valedictory session also.
First of all, I welcome all the students, faculty members who have arrived here, traveling a far place, traveling from far place to Lucknow University. Officials of Center for Environmental Engineering, Professor Amita Kanojia, sir, this is really very nice to see all of you here in an ancient university aged about 100 years, rather 100 years old this university is. And in past also, people used to travel from one country to other country and they wrote their experiences, places which they visited, which ultimately became part, valuable resource of history. And this way we learn, we know about each other, we exchange ideas, we exchange technologies, we exchange expertise, and at the end we make the society good, we make the world good to live.